What's going on, everybody? And today we're going to be going over Sam Wilson and how he's literally destined to fail with Brave New World, and how its advertisement is actually putting their main hero into the ground, and how he literally will never live up to Steve Rogers or becoming Captain America. Let's get right into the video. So we're doing it. I had to do it. We're going to be talking about how my friend Warstu is super upset because they are ruining his favorite character. That's right, Sam Wilson, aka the real Captain America. But in all honesty, how Sam Wilson is never going to live up to be Captain America, and how he's never going to live up to what Steve Rogers handed him. And how essentially they are just passing this off as a handout and just a pass on. So without further ado, I'm going to start showing you guys some clips real quick, and we're going to discuss it. So first off, there is the obvious. Steve Rogers. What separates Steve Rogers from Sam Wilson? Well, first off, Steve Rogers at the end of Endgame handed Sam a shield. Said, here you go. This is yours. But at no point was it ever showing that he is proven to actually take that shield. Unlike Bucky, who we constantly saw running and throwing the shield and using the shield and standing toe-to-toe with Steve, showing that he could combat with him. They were both super soldiers. Obviously, Sam's not a super soldier. And then how his life was turning around, how he's becoming good, how he was working with Wakandans, and how he was working with the military, and how he's becoming a senator or a congressman for Thunderbolts. And there's so much more to this that Bucky should have taken over. Now, my thing is this. Steve Rogers at no point in any part of his time was ever afraid to fight anybody. And that's going to put into a big part of Sam Wilson and why I think he's kind of a joke. And it is what it is. I'm not going to be that person and say, oh, Anthony Mackie's a great actor. He does this, he does this, he does this, like other people are doing. We are specifically talking about Sam Wilson as a character. Anthony Mackie does not talk into this conversation. It is just Sam Wilson in this film and how Kevin Feige is completely ruining this character. So, first off, Steve Rogers standing against Tony in Iron Man 1. I mean, in the Avengers 1 and in Civil War. You can say any point in time. At no point was he ever afraid, like, oh my God, that guy has all this tech. He's a billionaire. He's a genius. He has all these machines, this Iron Man suits. Can I fight with him? Nah, he was standing there throwing blow to blow with Tony Stark, constantly fighting him, doing whatever he had to defend his team, to stop him, and literally to stop him from getting Bucky. He showed more heart right there, defending somebody that he didn't have to, that he knew did bad things, being under control, but at the same time, that was his brother. He was going to defend him. That's the first part. Number 2, in Endgame, when Thanos' army and Cap was the only one left, or at least so he thought, pulled his shield with his cut on his arm, was ready to fight, was ready to go down as the last person. Once again, standing up as the last person. I don't know if you remember, but there's a certain scene where in the new Brave New World stuff where Sam Wilson is like, I should have taken that serum. Steve Rogers is standing up to Thanos, somebody who bodied the Hulk, and Sam is like, I should have taken that serum, to a Red Hulk who is obviously lower than Thanos. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it. Yeah, he's not a super soldier and whatnot, but it's at the same time, it's not showing that he's standing up at all. And it's not a Spider-Man quip. He's not saying it to Red Hulk. He's just saying it out loud to narrate to himself and kind of essentially tell us at the same time. It's not making him look strong or powerful. It's making him look honestly kind of pathetic. Number 3, in Civil War, once again, he was down to defend Bucky, Clint, Wanda, Scott, and Sam, standing there, showing being a leader, showing being a great leader once again, standing up for what he thought was right, that not everybody had to show their identities, and it would affect their family members, their friends, and the people that they associate themselves around with, where Tony wanted it the other way around, where they should have all been known who they are, they would have been working under the government, essentially all of those things. Steve, without a doubt, went there at the end of the movie, broke them all out. Steve had a mission, and Steve had a goal, and Steve had morals. Once again, Sam Wilson's just piggybacking off, oh, Steve, like, hey, I'm just going to take that role. Doesn't do anything new, doesn't stand out once again. Not an Anthony Mackie thing, a Sam Wilson thing they're doing. And last but not least, Steve Rogers in an alley. Once again, not a super soldier, stood in front of a bully who was 10 times bigger than him, molly-whopping him around, right? Molly-whopping him. I can do this all day. We've seen this multiple times. Iron Man beat him up. Iron Man memorized his fight patterns. Beat him up. I can do this all day. Tony, he was my friend. So was I. The whole thing, the whole spiel is what is ruining Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson's not proving, hey, I don't have the super soldier serum, so I should be able to stand up just like Steve is. We're not getting that. We're just getting the, oh, I don't have the super soldier serum. Holy cow, I might have to run the entire 5-minute scene and try not to get caught by the Hulk. And instead of actually, like, you know, even just saying I'm using my brain, realistically, I'm just trying to not die. I'm not actually being like, hey, I'm going to strategically move around and make him overheat and whatnot. They're not pushing him as being smart. They're just pushing him as being afraid constantly in these trailers and whatnot. He's getting mollywop pinballed around by cars and stuff, by his shield. He's running and Hulk is jumping after him. There's multiple scenes where it's just showing Sam pooping his pants, essentially. We're not getting anything good. And then you give us this brand new, you know, clip today where Sam is fighting somebody in this Serpent Society. Take in mind, they are just militia. They're not super soldiers. They're nothing in this movie. They're just militia soldiers. He picks up Sam Wilson and body slams it. Do we need to watch the whole scene again where Steve stepped into an elevator, even though he was a super soldier, stood in an elevator with people with magnets, with batons, with stun guns and everything else, and he took them on 1v like 8. Take in mind, they were the highest trained Hydra agents / SHIELD agents. Sam Wilson is not getting the benefit of the doubt, and Sam Wilson is not getting pushed as a strong character. That's the problem we're getting. Even Isaiah Bradley, in the 5 minutes that he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we were explained. He was a super soldier. He filled in for Captain America for a little bit. Then they put him away, and they locked him up. Eventually, he got his justice and whatnot, but at the same time, they still developed his character in that little amount of time. Once again, for Sam Wilson, literally at the end, here, this is for you. Nobody in the theater, not a single person, and if you say you're lying, thought Sam Wilson was getting that shield. We all thought it was going to Bucky. Bucky had this overarching arc that kept building up where he was bad and good and then controlled and good and blah, 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 and built relationships with, you know, the United States, built relationships with other Avengers, built relationships with Natasha, with Scott, with T'Challa, all these characters that he built relationships with around, even in Civil War and all these things. And then it turned into, like, at the end, he was like, nah, like, you know, he kind of did the head tilt, you know, obviously saying like, hey, Steve, give it to Sam. But at the same time, Sam Wilson didn't earn it. It was a here. And then he gives it up at the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and John Walker takes it. Do you understand why I'm mad? Do you understand why I'm mad? Make Sam strong. Make Sam mighty. He doesn't need the super soldier serum to still be a smart tactician. Like, he can still be good. Like, he can still do things that are crazy. Spider-Man outmaneuvers Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension. Are you kidding me? A dimension that Strange knows about more than Peter, and Peter in 10 seconds says geometry and beats him? Come on now, Marvel. For real? Sam Wilson should be, like, going around planting bombs and grenades and making Hulk being fired up and, like, getting away, and then at the end being like, oh, my wing. Shh. And stabbing him and making it work. Something along those lines. Not running away hoping that Ross overheats and dies. That's the problem with Sam Wilson. I'm not trying to hate. Sam Wilson's a great character in the comics, but he's just not in the movies, dude. He's just not it. My name's Bretta. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.